Well, I lost the intro to this video because I unplugged my camera by accident. So, hey, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to put on brakes, front brakes, and rear brakes, but two different videos. On my 2012 Sportster 72, which I had just sold, or I just sold. So, anyway, let's get into it. All right. So, yeah, it's just like this little pin here. So you got to undo the cap to your brake reservoir. I'm just on the other side of the bike. You know where the brake reservoir is. You got to take the cap off of it. So, but you want to use rags because brake fluid will screw your paint up. Hopefully it doesn't leak out while it's up on this lift. Yeah, a little bit came out. Then you gotta take a crowbar or pry bar. Try to figure out how to get the brake pads. Basically what I'm trying to do is get something in this brake to push it out. Maybe a long screwdriver. All I'm doing is getting a screwdriver in here and trying to pull the, can you see that? Get the brake pads in there. You don't want to do this after you take your brake pad out, because then it's just going to be a pain in the ass and you'll never get your brakes in. And why you take your reservoir cap off is so it will allow the brake fluid to kind of come back up. So I think that's going to be as good as it's going to get. So if you come at this side of it, maybe. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's loose now. So basically what I was doing there was taking a screwdriver, putting it in between the brake pad and the rotor, and prying against the brake pad so to push that piston in, just like you do on a car, basically. So after all that, that's what I was trying to do. I had a thin screwdriver, I think that's what I used. So anyway, back to the video. And I don't know which one of these is for the front, to be honest. Probably these smaller ones. So that's just a plug. So you got a plug, probably, that just covers it. And then it's an Allen key that is 5mm. Just back it out or just loosen it. Again, we don't want to take it out all the way from what the manual says. Again, I'll try to post the, all right, it's out or unscrewed anyway. So we take it out far enough to drop the rear brake pad, or pull the rear brake pad out. Yep. See, it just drops out. Yeah, that had some life in it still. At least that side did. New, old, obviously. But why not? just like that. I'm taking this off. This was on my original one. I'm going to take this pad back out and put that on. Probably help it from squeaking. So it just fits over top of that. All right. So it doesn't look like there's anything inherently wrong with them. So other than, oh man, gonna fucking knock my head off. And then there's a little slot. You just gotta make sure you get it in correctly. I'll maybe show you here in a minute. Okay. I mean, it's self-explanatory, but there's a little notch that the brake pad sits in on the other side of this. All right, so well, there's the other brake pad, which wasn't too bad either. Top is new, bottom is old, which the front still had pretty good life in them. But it says use the drill bit, but I want to see if I can get these back in here without doing all that. All right, I am back again. This is where I started to struggle because I was using those shims that the package said do not use. If I didn't use the shims, in about 3 minutes or so, this project would have been done. But yeah, I fought with it because I could not get that other side of the brake pad in. So anyway, don't use the shims, front or either side, front or back, left, right, whatever. Don't use the shims if you have a hard time getting the brake pads in. All right, I'll be back. I'll figure this out. All right, well, here's the reason why I could not get that brake shoe to fit. See where that says do not refit shim? I put those shims back on it, and you're not supposed to do that. And I couldn't get it in, and I just fought with it. Also, if you can see this little rubber plug, don't undo that. If you get frustrated and pull that out, because then you're gonna have to unscrew that, and that's tightened, that's Loctited in there. There's a, I don't know. Just don't do that, because you cannot just push that back through. So yeah, anyhow. But what I did do is I just sprayed that like anti-brake squeak stuff on it. Just hopefully that does something. But basically, I'm still probably going to use the screwdriver, the Phillips screwdriver, just to hold it in place from the back. But there's a slot in the brake rotor where this little piece goes. If you walk around the other side, you can clearly see it. So and then this one kind of has the same thing, but maybe a little harder to tell what's going on with it. You gotta get it, you gotta look at it through that hole. And once you get that in, you take your pen, which I'm gonna put anti-seize on. I want to put anti-seize on the threads of that pin that you screw back in. That'll get it everywhere because this stuff is a freaking nightmare. All right, just a little bit of anti-seize. Then screw that in. Oh, this is easy. Do not reuse shims. Mental note. And this would take you 5 minutes. So probably by the magic of editing, this is going to take 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes to do. Put the little cap back in the hole. Phillips flathead screwdriver. After I change gloves because I don't have stuff everywhere. All right. Tighten up the brake pad reservoir. If I had to get brake fluid, I'll just run and get some. I don't have any unused or unopened .4 brake fluid. Squeeze the brake lever. Oh yeah, there we go. That's it. Try to make sure you get all of the brake fluid off of everything, because it eats through. It just eats through stuff. Give me some brake parts cleaner. Anyway, I'm just cleaning over here. Nothing to see really. If you use brake parts cleaner, don't buy the chlorinated stuff because it eats through plastic. Well, that's the front brakes. Really probably an easier job than I made it, but with the power of editing, it is going to be what it is. So well, that's it for the front brake pads. I'm going to do the back ones. Should be the same way. Don't use the shims, like I said, and then it goes pretty easy because I don't know. I made it harder than what it was. Anyhow, I will talk to you guys later, and the next video should be the rear brake pads.